First of all, good morning. I want to introduce myself. I'm Gene Norvell, Vice President of Epsilon Brands. We're located in Montebello, California. You guys are certainly familiar with us because you've been a loyal Farenheit distributor for a long time. And I want to take this opportunity to go over some of the new things that are happening with our company as well as the industry. The industry is facing some huge problems right now, as you know, from the automotive bankruptcies and parts houses now starting to go bankrupt. We'll see people going back to Obama looking for money to be able to support even the parts distributors. But the bottom line is manufacturers are also having troubles. In this day and age, what you're seeing is Japanese companies collapsing like crazy. Their volume's going down. Companies like Panasonic have gotten out of the business. There's other companies like Pioneer, Alpine, Kenwood, JVC that are all struggling because with the current situation with the dollar, they're going to have to raise prices. We're already starting to see price increases. There's availability issues. There's margin issues for the dealers. This is becoming a huge issue for people to be able to survive this actual market that we're in today. Margin is going to be the key for these guys being able to survive this downturn. With all the Japanese manufacturers raising prices, what's happening is the dealers are getting caught in a margin squeeze. We're seeing margins going down on some of the major Japanese brands down to 8 or 9%. You cannot survive in this industry with those kinds of margins. So let me show you some opportunities that we've got to be able to make your dealers and you guys some money. In overheads, we have 3 models of overheads today. The 2 of the 3 are swivel screens. They have USB, SD, DVD built in. USB and SD support DivX, JPEG, and also MP4 movies. So if you go to Hulu or YouTube or something like that and you want to download movies, you can actually put it on an SD card or USB drive, put it in here. It'll take up to 4 gig on USB and 1 gig on SD card. Okay? In addition, the 2 models that have swivel screens are 9 and 11, both of which have 3 changeable color skins. Okay? One SKU, the dealer only has to carry the one piece to be able to cover all 3 colors. He's got a changeable tool in it to be able to remove those skins, put new skins on, and be able to come up with any color scheme for any car. In addition to that, you've got a selectable switch on top here, which you need to point out to your dealers. It's a positive-negative switch. Some cars use negative triggers for the door lights, some use positive triggers. Okay? That switch allows you to be able to switch back and forth with just a simple slide switch to be able to determine whichever way you need to go to be able to get the door switch to trigger your lights to come on. We also use 8 IR LEDs in here for your IR wireless headphones. We use 8, which most manufacturers use 4, because in most SUVs you have double rows of seats and you need glass bounce to get around that first set of rows. We're the only manufacturer that does that. In addition, on the backs of these units, there's an input for a secondary source. So if you have like a camcorder or something of that nature that you want to be able to play video from, you're able to plug that in and play it. Plus, there is a pause switch on here for mom. If she needs to be able to speak to the kids, it pauses it, cuts the audio to the kids so she can speak to them when they have the headphones on. Okay? We also do a 12.1 in a 4:3 ratio that's double hinged. It will not swivel the way the 11.2 widescreen or the 9 wide do, but at that size, you're going to have wobble if you don't go to a double hinge. Okay? We have one of the strongest hinges in the industry. There are other manufacturers out there that have tried to copy our hinge, and when you're going down the road, you'll see the screen flopping. It's terrible. People appreciate high quality products. Today you'll notice that we use nothing but high resolution brand new screens, whether it's Sharp, NEC, Samsung, or whomever. We use nothing but class grade A screens, brand new, no recycling. Okay? We have a 9-inch in a headrest configuration and also a 7-inch that's available to you in the Power Acoustic brand that has built-in DVD. You're able to snap the DVD in here, lower the screen, and be able to use that DVD as your source unit. They also have auxiliary outputs as well as auxiliary ins, so you can send this signal to a second headrest if you wanted to share the same signal on 2 headrests, or use 2 independent DVDs. You'll also notice you have SD card input, USB input and aux in on a stereo mini configuration, so if you have a Zune player or something of this nature that you want to output the video, you can plug it right into the front here and be able to play it right on these screens. It comes with 5 different pole diameters, and it also has variable pole widths, so you can cover about 85% of the cars. If you run into wide GM, please use our 9, which is the VHR9. Okay, that one will go out to a pole width of 8 inches for the wide GM. Okay, that's the only one that's able to reach that width. That's also got built-in DVD, RF wireless headphones in it and so forth. So this has IR wireless. Okay, in screens, some of the other things that we've done this year, we've upgraded. We've gone to a new GUI drive, which is Graphic User Interface. But it looks like the Apple iPhone. It's called an ARM9 chip. It's the same chip that they use in the iPhone to be able to give you the same kind of graphics that you would get without the ability to shrink or expand like you would see on an iPhone. But it does allow you to be able to go in and do many, many functions in here, whether it's DVD, radio, CD, whatever you want to do, it will cover. This particular unit here is the first and only 4.3-inch wide in an exact DIN configuration. Nobody's been able to do this because the max you were able to get was 3.6 wide before. But we tooled a thin frame screen that fits in this thing that cost us over $300,000 to tool. It's the only one on the market. JVC has a double wide, 2.6. But when you go into aspect ratio to try to stretch that picture across the screen, the ratio is not 16 to 9. It's very, very wide and it's very distorted. Okay, so this gives you the ability to get the largest 16 to 9 in a single DIN configuration possible. Now, I want you to also remember to tell your dealers something else about this, and this is going to help your dealers sell more product. When you go into system setup, let's go into more. So we'll get over here, we go into system setup. You'll see a whole lot of functions down here at the bottom. You've got your ability to set your color contrast, tint, brightness. But if you go over here, you've got sound functions where you've got your variable subwoofer out, 80, 120, 160 with variable volume. You go into clock functions, you've got a 12 or a 24-hour clock. If you like military time, you can use 24-hour. Go into the saver function, and there's screensavers. This is probably the most important factor that I want you to focus on with your dealers. They have the ability to walk out, shoot a picture of the front of their store, or possibly some of their high-end installs, and insert